again, my name is Father Andrew. Thank you again, IFC, for having me here for this wonderful baking adventure. For today's bake, we're going to do something that's very simple. Because again, my full-time job isn't a baker. It's a Catholic priest. It's a Franciscan friar. It's also a guardian of the house. It's also a mentor for the students. So I think there's like 12 full-time jobs there. But in between stuff, this is my back kitchen in which I do a lot of baking in. We have a big main kitchen in the friary, but here in the back, I do a lot of baking in between stuff. So essentially, what we're going to do today are these holiday blondies. So what I wanted to do was give a recipe that's really easy for people to do like in between stuff. Because baking during the holidays is very time consuming. I love to do all the like nitty gritty, like tiny details baking, but not everyone does, like my sister and my mother. So they want something that's really easy and customizable. So that's what I had idea. So as you can see here, there are different versions of these blondies that you can make. And I've put them in muffin tins so that they're easier for people to bite and eat, as opposed to slicing and baking. But you could totally do it in a 9 by 13 pan, which I put in the recipe. So this is what I like to do. For me personally, how I like to bake, it's very much part of my Filipino immigrant parents mentality of like, um, look what you have in your kitchen and then just make the best out of it. My grandmother did that all the time. She stored everything in Daisy sour cream containers. And my mother would like, use a piece of produce until its last breath. So I'm the same way, for better or worse. So like this one is an apple pie blondie. I had leftover streusel from a pie I baked and dried apples. Somehow we had these hazelnuts in the back of the pantry, so I made a chocolate hazelnut blondie. To be festive, I don't really like candy canes, but I like them with chocolate. So I found some Oreos, I put some chocolate chips, I put some candy canes, and made this one. And then over here is I got some Biscoff cookies, one of the best cookies ever. And I made that into a blondie also. So basically, you could do whatever you want. I put in the recipe different things you could customize. Today we'll do gingerbread flavor and then we'll like customize it together. Okay. I go really fast because I'm a fast talker. So if I need to slow down, Simi just tell me to stop talking so quickly. So essentially, it's a very simple recipe. All you need is first one is melt some butter. And so here's some melted butter right here. I usually like to melt on a low heat because I don't know if you guys are like me, but I forget things are on the stove sometimes. So I put it on low heat so that way I know it's not going to burn or bubble over. Okay, so in my bowl of melted butter, and then over here I have two kinds of sugar. I have brown sugar, light brown sugar, and white sugar. And so the brown sugar gives it a chewiness, and the white sugar gives it a sweetness. If you wanted to do all brown sugar, that's totally fine. If you want to do all white sugar, that's fine too. If it's all white sugar, it'll be extra crispy. If it's all brown sugar, it'll be extra chewy. Okay, so I went ahead and do that. I'm just gonna mix those together until I have a sludge over here too. And so what I like about this also is if you are vegan or dairy free or even gluten free, you could use this recipe for any kind of substitute. So we have a friar here who is lactose intolerant. So instead of butter, I use coconut oil. For vegan people, for the eggs and the butter, just substitute coconut oil in equal portions. And for gluten-free people, just substitute gluten-free flour. I think King Arthur and Bob's Red Mill makes a very good substitute. So you have this kind of gross looking, like, I know it's gross, gross looking thing over here, but it'll come together shortly. I have baking soda, cornstarch, and salt in here too, and some spices. Now, I use fine sea salt because the thing with fine sea salt is it distributes evenly in your batter. You know how like iodized salt is extra salty? because it's technically not a natural ingredient. They're basically crystals that have been incorporated ions into them, hence iodized. And so it has this like extra salty flavor. So I like to use all natural products as much as possible. So I use the fine sea salt. Let me just grab that. That's another batch I have in here. Do that over here. Okay. Um, and then I have some ground ginger, some ground cinnamon in here as well too. Cornstarch is for chewiness also. Okay. And then in here I have 2 eggs, vanilla extract, and molasses for the gingerbread flavor. The reason why I also wanted to do this as customizable is because we have a very international friary here. We have friars from Costa Rica, Mozambique, America, who are Chinese descent. I'm Filipino descent. And what I what is hard is like, well, obviously you can't please everybody, but every so often it's nice to do something nice for one of the brothers. So like, I try to customize them as much as possible. And for me, I create recipes where it's easy for me to like switch into like Italian mode or switch into Latina mode or switch into like Asian mode. You know what I'm saying? So like one of our Asian friars loves matcha. He's in a big matcha kick right now. So like I have matcha and I throw matcha into some of my ingredients and stuff like that too. Or or the Latinos, they love one of them loves dulce de leche. So if I would make this recipe, I would sprinkle on some dulce de leche on here too. So and the hard thing too is in the Catholic world, obviously the Catholic world is quite vast, and every single place has their own traditions. You have the Italian breads with lots of orange zest and anise, and then you also have like the gingerbreads from European countries and stuff like that too. So the hard thing is like everyone has their own special thing, and it's always different for everyone, but I try to find an ingredient or find a thing that is easily customizable for everyone. And then you're gonna have like this like goopy little slush like this too at a certain point. Okay. And so you see everything is very easy right now. Now, we did the sugar, the butter, the salt, the baking soda, the cornstarch, the eggs and the vanilla and the molasses. All right. Now, here comes the customizable part. So I'm going to add about 400 grams of flour into here. Before I start mixing it, I'm going to add about 400 grams or about a pound or 2 cups of ingredients, but they have to be dry. Okay, do not add fresh berries. I did that one time and it was gross. So it was very gross actually. It tasted good, but then the berries like got kind of sad in time. And then yeah, whatever. We just learn from our mistakes. Okay. And then so gingerbread, I love with gingerbread is I love cranberries in gingerbread. So I have these cranberries from a cranberry orange bread that I did. That's 153 grams. And then I love, love, love white chocolate with gingerbread also. So I'm going to add a little bit more of that too. Maybe add some of that too. And then I'm just going to go ahead and mix that all together. And then so you see, like I have this big clump of stuff, but when you take a flexible spatula like this, it starts to all come together. Okay. And for this kind of thing also, I love it because I just have a little baby niece now. So I'm always thinking about things that I could potentially do with her when she grows up older. And so this will be kind of a fun thing that she can do also with me. We're here too also. So, because like I don't know about you guys, but there's some people who like I know love doing things by the book and they have to do it correctly in this way. And there's some people who just like are more free flowing. And so I feel like this recipe is pretty forgiving for the both the by the book people and the free flowing people. If you just do this with chocolate chips, it's a huge hit. Our cook, I made it for her and she loved it with the chocolate chips in it. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this pan and I'm just gonna go ahead and spray it with nonstick. I feel like this thing always saves me something. And just like Mina, I'm a big ice cream scooper fan. I love using ice cream scoops. They make everything easier. Okay. And then just go ahead and fill it about halfway to three quarters ish.
So, Father Andrew, are there some specific kind of Filipino flavors that are often used around this time?
Mhm. During this time, well, the traditional Filipino flavors that happen in general for desserts is ube, which is a purple yam. It sort of has the flavor profile of a milder vanilla mixed with a sweet potato. I love it very much. It is like everywhere. Everyone will see it because it's very purplish. The other thing is we have a lot of mangoes there too. So mangoes are very, very popular too. The thing is with Filipino cuisine is traditionally right now is there are not many Filipino desserts per se during the holiday season. So I never really grew up with desserts, which is why I bake so much to compensate for my childhood. But Filipino desserts were never much of a thing. Usually they were very European inspired. So custard tarts with lots of fruit on them, or meringues or chiffon cakes that were very, very, very popular. So you would see in the Philippines mango chiffon, ube chiffon. I know for some Eastern Asian places, pandan chiffon is very big too. But growing up in Filipino culture, I never really experienced much of a dessert culture with Christmas time. There is we do a lot of things with rice, and so we do a mixture of like a rice cake. So you bake that. It's basically brown sugar, rice, and coconut. And we do that like I think around the holiday season sometimes, but to be honest, it's not really that popular. And no one really eats it, which is really unfortunate.
So I think we have a question from one of our, well,
Mhm.
actually, I mean, it's our executive director, Susanna Badian, and she has a question about substitutions.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this. This is so fun to watch you. So one of our people remarked that you YouTube sensation. But I have a quick question about how do you what substitution can we if people are diabetic
Yeah.
or or maybe not even diabetic, but we don't want to put sugar. Is a
Mhm.
banana a good substitution for, I mean, how do we put in other
Yeah.
alternative
I
sweeteners?
wouldn't suggest banana because it'll mess up the texture of it all too. So for diabetics, I would say you could lower the sugar content by half in both spaces. And then instead of the sugar, you would use a substitute. I know there's oh bother. Not stevia. There's a better one also nowadays, a dragon fruit one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, dragon fruit, I've
Yeah, yeah,
heard.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My mom
Okay.
used that. And I was like, oh, this is actually really good. So I would suggest trying doing it that way, and it should work out fine.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I also have some leftover cinnamon sugar because I bake a lot. So I'm gonna sprinkle that on top there too.
Now,
And
just
these I'm gonna give away. So like right now, I'm sure everyone's doing Christmas cookies. So these I'm going to give away to some people later on today because it's a lot. I'm sorry, you're saying to me?
Oh, no, I was just going to say to our participants, if you have questions, please feel free just to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask, or you can put it in the chat.
I think since you're local, we really want to come and do a field trip and taste some of these in person. So we're
I'm
inviting
Fil-
ourselves.
I'm Filipino, so I love having people over. So like, come over, yeah.
Okay. We're
I'll
coming,
bake it, whatever.
we're doing a field trip soon.
Nice, nice. Now the baking time is different for every person. Okay, so I know there are people who love the ooey gooey. So I would say 13 minutes, nothing more than that, would be the best. If you like it a little more well done, I would suggest 15 to 17 minutes. But the key is leave it to cool in your tray because what's going to happen is it's going to continue cooking in here uh, while it's cooling. And so like right here, like I have the Oreo one for my brothers. And the Oreo one is also dairy free. So I used what did I use? Coconut oil for it too. And I just take a little knife over here and I just carefully release it. Boop. And so this one is a little bit harder because I have the coconut oil in it too.
What does the
Mhm.
coconut oil do to the texture? You said it's a little bit harder. Does it make it a little
Yeah,
bit?
because coconut oil is a softer product than butter, so it's
Mm.
gonna make it a much softer thing. So it's releasing from the pan, but I want to let it sit in the pan a little bit longer because it'll also fall apart. But if you use the regular butter, it should be fine.
So Mina wanted to know what your favorite thing to bake is.
Oh, too many things. Right now, I know it's 5 years late, but I'm in a sourdough kick. Um, I'm in a sourdough kick right now. So there are a ton of loaves in the freezer right now that I'm gonna give away to people too. Um, right now, sourdough. I love French stuff a lot. So I've been doing a lot of croissants. Um, I've been doing a lot of croissants whenever I can. It's a 3-day process. And so with sourdough, it's a 3-day process, so it takes a while too. But right now, it's usually something French or it's something simple. So I go back and forth. I love doing French stuff, which is a little bit more complex and takes time, but then also cookies, which is like a quick one and done kind of thing too. One of the things that I love to do is in the morning, I have prayer really early in the morning, so like at 6:30 a.m. Sometimes I'll take my coffee down here with me. I will make cake layers and the frosting, and then throughout the day, I will um, frost the cake, chill the cake, decorate the cake. And because I have a lot of meetings throughout the day, so it's just really hard to do things throughout the day too. But yeah, yeah, that's my favorite thing to do too. Let's
Father
see.
Andrew, when you said France or French, I thought of Bouche de Noël.
Oh, I love them. Oh, so I just I got so excited. I just did two Bouche de Noëls. I wish I had them still, but I love doing a Bouche de Noël.
Oh, I bet they're
I just developed
wonderful.
this new chiffon recipe. Oh, yeah, yeah. There's so much. It's so much fun because what I love about Bouche de Noël is they're so light, but they're so flavorful at the same time. Are you thinking of the Bouche de Noël like the Swiss roll Bouche de Noël or like the
Yeah, that's
yeah?
typically yeah.
Good. Yeah, yeah. That's a great, great one. It is very complicated. So I would love to teach it, but that would be a 2-hour class.
Okay, I'll
So
sign up.
let me know next year, okay? I'll be happy to do a 2-hour Bushido class.
Can you tell us a little bit for those who may not know, what is a bûche de Noël? What are the
Yeah.
things that go into it?
Yeah, so Bush Noel essentially is it's supposed to look like a Yule log, like just basically a log. And what happens is it's basically a cake that you roll up with filling, and then you cut it and frost and decorate it so that it looks like a log. But the fillings can vary. I did mine with a chocolate chiffon cake, and then I made a chantilly, but that's the fancy word for whipped cream, and some fresh raspberries and blackberries in there, and then finished it with a chocolate ganache on top too. What I really love about a bûche de Noël is the chiffon is extremely light and the texture is like pillowy and cloudy. Then you also get hit with the cloudy and creaminess of vanilla whipped cream and like a little tart from like the raspberries and the blackberries. And then obviously chocolate ganache is just like indulgent. But what I love about it is it's this beautiful dichotomy of like both intensity and lightness. The intensity comes from the chocolate ganache, but the lightness is mostly like the cream and the chiffon. It's very technical because you have to you have to fold the egg whites a certain way. You have to bake it not too long, not too short, so that it doesn't crack. You have to roll it up quickly as soon as it comes out of the oven. Let it cool in there. Prepare your cream, unroll it, layer out your whipped cream, roll it back up, cut it, and then lather it with ganache and then and decorate it. It was such a fun project. I did that for my friend's holiday party too, and he loved it too. Um, but yeah, it's a great Christmas thing. The other Christmas thing I do is different breads too. So I do like an orange and cranberry apple coron. It's basically shaped and it's braided and shaped like a crown, and it's delicious too. Any other questions about that?
I don't think so.
Okay. So like it so here like you'll see like over here you'll see the inside it's cooked all the way through. The edges are very crispy and then you can see like little pieces of Oreos and stuff like that in there too. And then this one over here is an apple strudel one. And then over here you get like little pieces of oops, sorry, little pieces of apple in there too. Little pieces of freeze-dried apple. I'm sorry about that too. But yeah, so during the holiday seasons, I try to like make baking fun, but also easy. I may do a mixture of easy bakes, but more complicated bakes. I mean, obviously, I need to do chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, you shouldn't. Um, Obviously, I'm gonna do some chocolate chip cookies, but I'm gonna do more decorative stuff also. Yeah, that will take a while.
So the
Any,
recipe that
yeah,
you were making that we sent around,
yeah.
can we do what you were just showing us? Are those variations on that recipe so we could add Oreos
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever?
exactly. So I put in like 400 grams of any dry mix-in. So you can add your Oreos, you can add candy canes. I added like some Ghirardelli peppermint bark in there too. It's basically like a compost or like choose your own adventure situation. And so it's kind of a fun thing to like explore and have fun with. Yeah.
Wonderful. Are there any other questions that we have as we're winding down with this part of the workshop?
I'd like to ask if you live at the Holy Land Priory.
Oh, no, they're about 10 minutes away from us. Yeah, I live over by Catholic University. There's a friary up right north of the Basilica.
Is there a favorite, um, is there a favorite baked good that you make for your brothers around this time? Is there something they
Chocolate.
always ask for?
They always want chocolate chip cookies. One time, like I would like for fancy occasions, I would make shoe buns, which are cream puffs, and like I would put like a French pastry cream called crème diplomate in there with fresh strawberries, or I'd make my own pistachio paste and then add that into it also. But they just want chocolate chip cookies to be honest. So when I do the nicer stuff, I tend to like make smaller batches because I know what they actually want, which is really sweet. Yeah. I love pistachio paste too. It's so much fun to make and so much better when you make it at home too, because you can control it better too. But yeah, for the brothers love chocolate chip cookies. They love, to be honest, they love chocolate cake also too. It's just basically a chocolate house. They love my coconut cake, but that's seldom. That's a little bit few brothers. They do like the croissants because I mean, like it's croissant. So when I make the croissants, they are definitely all present there. And so they and of course they go for the pain au chocolat, which is chocolate. So
There's
it's
definitely a
pretty.
chocolate theme.
Yes. So it's very much a chocolate thing. But pumpkin pie and apple pie, they're big fans of those too. But for me, when I go home for my mom and my dad, they're more willing to experiment and stuff like that too. So I make more fun stuff for them. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Question. Thank
Yeah,
you,
go ahead.
Father Andrew.
Mhm.
You mentioned let me see, there's a
We just see this.
you use you can use to make anything with if you use a sourdough starter.
Oh, that's not a dry ingredient, so I would say no.
Okay,
I
but
love
can you
using my
make
sourdough
different?
starter with everything though.
Okay, so what do you just make bread then?
For me with
Yeah.
sourdough, yeah. So I make bread with sourdough a lot, but I also um in a lot of my bread recipes, what I've been doing, and I don't advise this unless you want to experiment, I have a container of discard. Um, have here's my here's my discard container. And so what I do for myself is right now it's still pretty active, and I substitute every 7 grams of yeast. I use 100 grams of sourdough discard, and I keep an eye on it. So what I do is periodically I'll smell it. I know it's gross, sorry guys, that's gross for you guys. Particularly, and if it smells like nail polish, then it's done, right? Right now, there's still some sweetness in here. So I'm still going to use it for my cinnamon rolls. So instead of using 7 grams of yeast, I'm gonna use 100 grams of sourdough starter, or I'll use it for my focaccia. And so I'll use it for that kind of stuff. But that this is like every sour. So you got me going sourdough now. Every single place has different bacteria and yeast in it, every single area. So in Washington, D.C., what I've noticed is the starter or the bacteria colony is pretty resilient. And so I've been using this for a lot of different things, and it's been working out really nicely for me. But sorry, you would just have to practice and try it out yourself.
All right. Well, thank you, Father
Yeah.
Andrew, so much for joining us, for being a part of this one, part of an IFC program once again. I think we all want to come over and have a field trip and,
Yeah, whatever you
sample.
want. Yeah, whatever you want.
So yes, so thank you again so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Happy holidays.